Assalamualaikum and hi there, my name is Fahrudin and in this video, I'll be presenting about my topic, culture shock in working environment. As we go deep into the presentation, you will learn how unhealthy group habits or lifestyle can influence individuals' behavior and mental perception. And also, bear in mind that in this presentation, I'll be talking based on 4 points. The first point is the problem statement, following with the cause of the problem. Third point is about the view from sociological perspective, and the last point is my personal opinion on solution to the problem. Before we move on with the story, do you know the meaning of culture shock is actually the feeling of disorientation experienced by a person after they are suddenly subjected to an unfamiliar culture. And of course, this also includes in working environments. This is related to my story when I was living independently and separated with my parents. They were living at Negeri Sembilan while I stayed at Penang working at a convenience store. So normally, the workers there will be provided with a place to stay. But unlike for me, I was working as a part-timer, so I don't get the same facility access as they do. But I was surprised when I found out that their house was just right next to mine. So of course, I spent most of the time hanging out with them, doing boys thing, playing games, watch football, movies, etc. Everything was just normal at first, but as most of them were older than me, they have this culture of them to like to smoking and drinking openly. Even some of them go clubbing and come home late at night being drunk. But despite all of that, for me personally, I'm okay with that because I know I have a strong hold in my own perception on what's good and bad. Maybe I can say that I'm not that easily to be influenced by their lifestyle. However, what is not fine to me, what troubles me is that when I see the newcomers or new workers who started to join our circle are slowly following the wrong footsteps as we hang out every day. So even though I'm not close to them, but I can definitely notice that they are slowly day by day starting to change. What they once used to say is bad are not in line with what they are doing today. For example, I noticed changes by looking at their behavior from rejecting cigarette at first and now can just openly smoke. And I even once asked their perception about the alcohol. They used to say that it is bad, but now I can see that they just treat it as it was nothing. So from there, I realized how serious the effect of our circle in influencing an individual behavior and thinking. So based on my own observation, I can conclude two main causes that lead to the problem to be occurred. The first cause is due to the combination of different races and religion. I do believe even if each religion has its own rules and doctrines, if people spend enough time among individuals of another religion, they can easily get affected by their beliefs. So for example, the Muslim worker are not accustomed to drinking as it was also prohibited in their religion, but slowly will get influenced by his fellow Chinese friends who drinks a lot. The second cause is more related to the individual's curiosity or culture shock. Most of the new workers who barely just start joining with the circle was shocked with the negative environment they just see. At the same time, they develop this feeling or this urge to try something new, to try doing things that are opposite from their usual rational belief. Also, due to daily exposure within the group's environment, it develops the feeling to be part of the culture or the need to fit in, resulting to make themselves slowly getting involved in the unhealthy group's lifestyle. According to one of the social thinker in symbolic interactionism, Charles Horton Cooley uses the sociological perspective to look first at smaller units such as families, gangs and friends. He views this group as the seedbed of society, which they shape people's ideals, beliefs and social nature. Also, if we're looking at the previous problem from sociological perspective, we can conclude that daily exposure and interaction within the group's environment, which is the smoking and drinking, will slowly develop social relationship between individuals with members of the group, and thus influences and effect changes in the individual's perception and behavior to start following the same action. So for the solution, in my opinion, we are looking from the larger perspective. The higher authority, or in this case, the manager, can utilize to separate dorms or rooms based on the workers' respective religion. For example, the Chinese placing Chinese workers with their own groups and Muslim with theirs. This does not mean that they cannot interact with each other. They still can, but in order to minimize or avoid the risk of getting people, especially the Muslim, to be influenced to do what is prohibited in their religion. And other than that, manager can also create rules such as no smoking or drinking area to show respect and provide optional space for other members that are non-smokers or drinkers, and yet apply heavy warning or punishment to those who are caught not following the rules. We have now reached to the end of the presentation. Along through the explanation, we now learn from the first point, problem statement, that groups or circle habits and lifestyle can influence individual behavior. And apart from that, we have also managed to detect two main causes that leads to the problem. The first is due to mainstream of races and religion, and the second one is due to individuals' curiosity and culture shock. And then, we've also looked at it from the sociological perspective that related to the views of Charles Horton Cooley. He said that the smaller units function as the seed bags of society. Last but not least, we concluded by appointing two logical solutions from the sociological approach. The first solution suggests the manager to separate rooms based on each worker's religion, and the second solution suggests manager to create a no smoking or drinking area. With that being said, I will now end my recording presentation. I hope all my explanation is clear and easy to understand. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time.